Working in confined spaces can pose significant safety risks due to limited access, poor ventilation, and potential exposure to hazardous substances. Here are some safety guidelines to consider when working in confined spaces. Identify and assess the confined space. Determine if the work area meets the definition of a confined space, which typically involves limited entry and exit points and potential hazards. Conduct a thorough risk assessment to identify the specific hazards present in the space. Permit to work system. Implement a permit to work system that requires a written permit before anyone enters the confined space. This ensures that proper precautions have been taken and that authorized personnel are aware of the work being done. Training and awareness. Ensure that workers are trained in confined space safety procedures, including hazard identification, emergency response, and the proper use of personal protective equipment, PPE. Regularly reinforce safety protocols and encourage open communication about potential hazards. Ventilation and atmospheric monitoring. Before entering a confined space, verify that the air quality is safe for entry. Monitor the atmosphere for toxic gases, oxygen levels, and flammable substances. Implement proper ventilation, such as using fans or blowers, to maintain a safe atmosphere. Entry and exit procedures. Establish clear entry and exit procedures, including the use of barriers, signage, and lockout/tagout systems to prevent unauthorized access. Ensure that rescue equipment, such as harnesses, ropes, and communication devices, are readily available in case of an emergency. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Provide workers with appropriate PPE, such as respirators, safety harnesses, protective clothing, and eye and ear protection, based on the identified hazards. Train workers on the correct use, maintenance, and limitations of their PPE. Communication and monitoring. Establish a reliable communication system between workers inside and outside the confined space. Use a buddy system where at least 2 workers are present during entry, and regularly check on their status. Implement continuous monitoring of the confined space, even if workers are not inside. Emergency response and rescue. Develop and practice an emergency response plan specific to confined spaces. Train workers in first aid, rescue techniques, and how to respond to incidents such as fires, collapses, or chemical exposures. Coordinate with emergency services to ensure timely response in case of an emergency. Regular inspections and maintenance. Conduct routine inspections of confined spaces to identify potential hazards and address them promptly. Regularly maintain equipment, ventilation systems, and safety controls to ensure their effectiveness. Continuous improvement. Foster a culture of continuous improvement in confined space safety by conducting incident investigations, sharing lessons learned, and implementing corrective actions. Encourage workers to report near misses and potential hazards to prevent future incidents. Remember, the safety of workers in confined spaces should always be the top priority. Adhering to proper safety protocols, providing adequate training, and maintaining open lines of communication are essential to mitigate risks and ensure a safe working environment.